Good morning everyone, Pierre speaking, Friday morning, and I'm absolutely furious this morning. This is my third video for you guys. Every time Camtasia crashed when I want to do the editing. So let's cross the fingers and see if this one is going to work. Euro index daily chart. Beginning of the week we said that we are trapped in a triangle. Now for the last 3 days the triangle broke to the downside, but look at the wicks. Every time the candles close within the triangle again. Now this morning price is breaking to the downside again, and it will be interesting to see where price will close today. If this is the case where we close on the other side of the trend line, two ways how you can play this. One is to wait for M2 short where price will pull back to this resistance area. Remember it was a support area, trend line broke now, so look for the M2 short from these EMAs starting at 108.50 going up to 108.44. That's the first option. Second option is to wait for price to get to 107.65, 107.17 for possible long setups again. Euro US dollar daily chart. This one broke the triangle to the downside and we are on our way. Two ways that we can trade this is wait for pullback to all the EMAs here, the monthly main pivot point, followed by M2 short setup, or look for support at 2160 to go long again. Be careful, if 2160 doesn't hold, price can break and we can go and visit this area, which is a huge area for me. It's a monthly second pivot point, psychological level. There's a daily 200 EMA, so that is a big support area for us to look for longs again. Euro JPY daily chart. This one has been playing around in the Earth and Sky trading zone, but look at this now. The 4-hour and the daily is mixed. Now, while the 55 holds, my bias is to short. Problem for me is that we've got a hell of a lot of EMAs here that can stop the move again, so be very careful here. If the 55 breaks, look at last week's, or rather last month's high and the monthly main pivot point for possible resistance, followed by a short setup. Euro pound, we wanted to short. Remember this was our Earth and Sky trading zone starting at 88.18 going up to 88.93. This was our main area, 88.09. Price didn't get there, so I'll keep my eyes on that one for next week. Pound US dollar daily chart. This one rallied a little bit up, but then yesterday we had a big drop. But even though that was a 120 pip candle, price didn't break the 55. While the 55 holds at 3955, my bias will be to look for longs on this one. Pound JPY daily chart. Remember I showed you the inverse head and shoulder pattern. We formed now the right shoulder and we're playing at the neckline. So that's something that we need to keep our eye on maybe for next week. Also US dollar 4-hour chart. This one touched the 55, burnt. We retested the Earth and Sky trading zone. We never broke the 75% FIP at 77.50. Instead we had this big bearish engulfing candle. Bob was your uncle. Let's quickly have a look at the 1 hour. Look how price turned around there. We had a nice clean trend line break. So there was a short setup on that one. Possible profit take areas. Going sideways again, guys. Volume momentum slow. But the main profit take would have been for me down here at 76.43, 76.52. But take note, if we slow down here, we're going into the weekend and you're still in the short. Maybe pull that one. Aussie JPY daily chart. Y daily chart. Last week we closed 88 pips higher in the opening. We couldn't flip the 4-hour to get the short zone. We had to do the daily. This is our zone. Remember I showed you. But 82, 83, 83, 53 will be my key areas to get resistance, followed by a short setup, and we're getting to that areas now. US dollar JPY daily chart. This one broke the Earth and Sky trading zone to the upside. Currently hitting now our second resistance areas. It's a monthly pivot point. Bollinger Band is there. 55 EMA is there. And it was last month's high area as well. So I will be interested to see what's happening here for possible short setups. But like of many of the other pairs, we've got loads of EMAs to the downside. So if we do get a short, take note of the EMAs to the downside that can give resistance again, or rather support again. US dollar CAD daily chart. This one broke the head and shoulder pattern to the downside. But I warned you guys that there's a 200 EMA that needs to clear first. Currently price is sitting on that level at 2749. So price can go back up to the trend line again. I will keep my eyes on the break on 2740. If that breaks, we might be on for this one. Remember, possible head and shoulder profit take is about 300 pips. 300 pips will take us down to this monthly pivot point on that one. Dollar index, interesting. That's breaking to the upside. CAD broke to the downside, and they're supposed to be positive correlated. Nevertheless, this one broke to the upside. Two ways how you can play it. M2 long, where price broke, pull back to all these EMAs, look for the long setup. Otherwise, look for shorts at 90.95, 91.95. Big area this. Monthly second pivot point, psychological level 200 EMA on that one. That's it, guys. See you next week. Have an awesome one. Cheers.